Why did you do this?
It's been so long, I've forgotten the reason.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
SAO is terrible. You heard what I said. For something good, try the Deadpool movies instead.
Deadpool is a 2016 American superhero film. The movie is directed by Tim Miller and stars Ryan Reynolds, Marina Baccarin, Ed Skrein, TJ Miller, Gina Carano, Brianna Hildebrand, and Stefan Kapicic. Deadpool is about Wade Wilson, a former Special Forces operative who now works as a mercenary. His world comes crashing down when evil scientist Ajax tortures, disfigures, and transforms him into Deadpool. The rogue experiment leaves Deadpool with accelerated healing powers and a twisted sense of humor. With help from mutant allies Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Deadpool uses his new skills to hunt down the man who nearly destroyed his life. First of all, Ryan Reynolds is great as Wade Wilson / Deadpool. I honestly cannot imagine any other actor playing that character. Ryan Reynolds was definitely the perfect choice. I would even go so far as to say that Ryan Reynolds pretty much carried this entire movie. He's very hilarious and amusing. This movie overall was very funny and the humor worked pretty much every time, starting from right at the beginning with the opening credits. You can tell that this movie wasn't trying to take itself too seriously and that definitely worked in its favor. I also liked all the fourth wall breaks that Deadpool did. You don't really see fourth wall breaks in movies too often, so it was definitely very entertaining to watch Deadpool constantly break the fourth wall. In total, there was probably at least 20 fourth wall breaks in the movie. Additionally, it's funny how the movie made jokes about the studio not being able to afford certain actors, because in reality, the studio literally couldn't afford to hire those actors. The movie only had a $58 million production budget, which is a lot less than your standard superhero movie. I think that it's also very hilarious how Ryan Reynolds made fun of himself a lot in this movie. For example, he made fun of his previous roles as Green Lantern in the 2011 Green Lantern movie, as well as Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Furthermore, the movie has some great fighting and action scenes. Since Deadpool is more of an anti-hero, he doesn't have the same moral standards as most of the other superheroes. For example, Deadpool doesn't hesitate to kill other people, and he kills a lot of people throughout the course of this movie. Additionally, this movie is rated R. Therefore, the fight scenes are very satisfying to watch, since you don't really have the same limit when it comes to the violence and brutality as you would if this was a rated PG-13 movie. I think that Marina Baccarin was also great as Vanessa. She had some fantastic on-screen chemistry with Ryan Reynolds. It actually seems pretty believable that they're a real couple. Their relationship felt very authentic and genuine. You actually care for them, and they also had a lot of hilarious moments together. Despite all my praise so far, this is not a perfect movie. Although Deadpool and Vanessa are great characters, I can't really say the same for the other characters. Most of the other characters were very forgettable and didn't really stand out at all. Especially the main villain of this movie, Ajax. Ajax is just your typical bad guy in a comic book movie. He's not very memorable and he also wasn't very intimidating either. Additionally, the story is pretty standard and formulaic. It mostly just relies on Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, which is why I said that Ryan Reynolds pretty much carries this entire movie. Overall, Deadpool is a decent movie. The story is pretty formulaic and most of the characters are very forgettable, but Ryan Reynolds is fantastic as the lead character Deadpool. Additionally, the movie is very funny and it has some amazing fight sequences. I'm gonna give Deadpool a 7.5 out of 10. Alright guys, that's it for my review of Deadpool. If you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments below how you felt about it. Deadpool 2 is a 2018 American superhero film. The movie is directed by David Leitch and stars Ryan Reynolds, Marina Baccarin, Josh Brolin, Zazie Beetz, TJ Miller, Julian Dennison, and Brianna Hildebrand. Deadpool 2 is a sequel of the 2016 Deadpool film. In the movie, mutant mercenary Wade Wilson, also known as Deadpool, brings together a team of fellow mutant rogues in order to protect a young boy of supernatural abilities from the brutal time-traveling mutant Cable. Once again, Ryan Reynolds is fantastic as Wade Wilson / Deadpool. He was without a doubt the best part of the first Deadpool movie, and he's also the best part of Deadpool 2. As I mentioned in my first Deadpool movie review, I honestly cannot imagine any other actor playing the character of Wade Wilson / Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is definitely the perfect fit for that role. Also, just like in the first Deadpool movie, the jokes and fourth wall breaks in this movie were absolutely hilarious. This time, Ryan Reynolds was actually one of the screenwriters for this movie. He made a lot of relevant and meta jokes. The fourth wall breaks were also very funny and fit the current situation. I do feel that some of the jokes went a little too far and felt a bit redundant, but overall most of the jokes worked for me. There's also a bunch of hilarious cameo appearances that you would never expect, so that's definitely a plus. Additionally, Deadpool 2 has some great fighting and action scenes. In my opinion, the fighting and action scenes in this movie were even more entertaining than the first Deadpool movie. That definitely makes sense though, because the director David Leitch used to be a stunt coordinator and stuntman. He also co-directed Atomic Blonde and was the co-director of John Wick, so he definitely has a lot of experience and he knows what he's doing. Apart from Deadpool, I feel that the other characters were alright. Not great, but I do believe that the supporting characters in this movie were much better than the first Deadpool movie. Domino is actually a very interesting character. It was cool to see her luck ability in action. I think that Zazie Beetz did a good job playing Domino. She definitely fit that character. Russell was also a fairly decent character. Julian Dennison's performance as Russell was very believable. You can really understand and relate to him. Josh Brolin is pretty average as a villain. His deadpan and irritated performance as Cable did feel like a good counterpoint to Deadpool. However, he didn't really stand out to me, and his motivation for doing everything felt pretty standard. Unfortunately, the movie didn't really develop his character too much. Josh Brolin wasn't bad in this movie, but I definitely liked his performance as Thanos in Avengers Infinity War much more. The movie does kind of bait and switch you a little. A lot of the supporting characters that you see in the trailers are only in the movie for a very brief amount of time. However, even though their screen time was pretty brief, they were definitely very hilarious, especially Peter. Furthermore, I also liked how this movie gave Deadpool quite a lot of character development and tried to humanize him a bit more. There's actually a lot of scenes in the movie where Deadpool isn't even in the suit or fighting any bad guys, he's just Wade Wilson. Therefore, the audience was able to learn more about his character and personality. Unfortunately, this movie does have a few plot conveniences, but the funny part is that the movie made fun of it and called itself out whenever a plot convenience happened. So the filmmakers were definitely aware of the plot conveniences, but it's nice how they were able to come up with a way to make it at least a bit funny. The ending of this movie is kind of predictable. I did enjoy the overall theme and message of the movie though. This movie is actually a lot more heartwarming and moving than the first Deadpool movie. Last but definitely not least, this movie probably has the best mid-credits scene in any movie that I've ever seen. You definitely want to stick around for it. The mid-credits scene is just hilarious. Overall, Deadpool 2 is a very fun and enjoyable movie. It does have its flaws, but I'm sure that the fans of the first Deadpool movie will absolutely love this movie. Deadpool 2 is very funny and amusing, and Ryan Reynolds does an amazing job playing the lead character. Additionally, this movie has a lot of great action scenes. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than the first Deadpool movie. I'm gonna give Deadpool 2 an 8 out of 10. Alright guys, that's it for my review of Deadpool 2. If you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments below how you felt about it.
SAO is a tedious slog, painfully slow and devoid of any real excitement. Watching it is like dragging yourself through a swamp of monotony, where fun is a distant, unattainable dream. There's just no comparison. Deadpool is a blast. Watching SAO is like subjecting yourself to a marathon of boredom and frustration. Characters are bland, the plot is a convoluted mess, and the pacing is excruciatingly slow. The Deadpool movies are a breath of fresh air compared to SAO. Choosing SAO over Deadpool would be a colossal mistake you'll regret deeply. Spare yourself the misery and opt for the Deadpool movies instead. You'll thank yourself later. The author of SAO is clearly just trying to make a quick buck. There's no research done, no attempt at crafting an interesting or coherent story. The characters are shallow and one-dimensional, plot is riddled with cliches and inconsistencies, and the pacing is atrocious. It's painfully obvious that minimal effort went into creating SAO, resulting in a soulless, lackluster series that's more frustrating than entertaining. Save yourself the disappointment. SAO definitely doesn't deserve its popularity and success when there are so many things far better than it. It's a mystery why anyone enjoys SAO at all. The series is a prime example of how low standards can sometimes result in undeserved acclaim. The plot is a disjointed mess, characters are wooden and forgettable, and the pacing is painfully slow. It's baffling that it has managed to gain any sort of following when there are infinitely better options available. If you want another Marvel movie worth watching over the dumpster fire that is SAO, check out Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Here's a review.
During ancient times, the extraordinary Wenwu stumbled upon a remarkable discovery: 10 rings of unparalleled power. These mystical artifacts bestowed upon Wenwu not only immortality but also catapulted him to the pinnacle of dominance and conquest. Establishing the infamous 10 Rings organization, Wenwu's influence would extend to the farthest reaches of the globe throughout the ages. In the fateful year of 1996, whispers of a fabled haven known as Ta Lo reached Wenwu's ears, igniting an unrelenting desire within him. Wenwu embarked on a treacherous journey through an intricate bamboo maze. In a heart-pounding moment, their car hurtles off a cliff. Miraculously, Wenwu escapes just in time, defying death's grip. Tragically, Chancellor Hui meets a grim fate. Wenwu comes face to face with the formidable guardian of Ta Lo's gateway, Li. Challenged by her unwavering resolve, Wenwu found himself in a fierce clash with Li, their eyes locked in a mesmerizing duel. Although Li proved victorious in battle, a profound connection began to blossom between them. Recounting this epic tale to her young son, Shang-Chi, Li bequeathed him a radiant green pendant. In present-day San Francisco, Francisco, Shang-Chi and his friend Katie Chin ride the bus to work. The tranquil atmosphere is shattered when Shang-Chi is targeted by a group of assailants hellbent on acquiring the pendant. Shang-Chi hurls Gao Lei out of the bus, plunging him into a fatal descent. Shang-Chi escapes unscathed, but Razor Fist successfully seized his coveted pendant. Driven by a cryptic postcard supposedly sent by his estranged sister, Shang-Chi embarks on a journey to Macau. Katie accompanies Shang-Chi. During their flight, Shang-Chi reveals his hidden identity to Katie, exposing the extraordinary life he led before crossing paths with her. At the tender age of 7, tragedy struck when Shang-Chi's mother passed away, propelling Wenwu to initiate his son's transformation into a lethal assassin. Guided by the cold, watchful eyes of his mentor, the Death Dealer, Shang-Chi delved deep into the sinister art of assassination. He eventually found himself assigned a crucial mission, only to defy his destiny and escape to the vibrant streets of San Francisco. Upon their arrival in Macau, Shang-Chi and Katie go to the Golden Daggers Club. Shang-Chi encounters his sister Xiaoling. She unveils that she didn't send the postcard. The 10 Rings breach the club in search of Xiaoling's pendant. Death Dealer takes the pendant and Wenwu shows up. The characters fly to the 10 Rings headquarters. Wenwu discloses that his wife's voice is beckoning to him, and she's being imprisoned by the people of Ta Lo. Harnessing the power of his children's pendants, Wenwu conjures a mystic water map, unveiling a path through the enchanting bamboo forest to Ta Lo. The characters encounter the charismatic Trevor Slattery, accompanied by his companion, Morris. To their astonishment, Morris can navigate through Ta Lo's perplexing forest maze without relying on a predetermined path. Seizing the opportunity, they commandeer Razor Fist's vehicle, engaging in a fierce battle against the 10 Rings forces before making a dramatic escape from the compound. Morris guides the characters through the forest and they enter a portal into Ta Lo. The characters are introduced to Li's sister Nan. Nan unravels the captivating history of this extraordinary realm. It was once a thriving civilization that was ravaged by the malevolent Dweller in Darkness and its horde of soul eaters. However, a glimmer of hope emerged as the mighty Great Protector intervened, sealing the Dweller deep within the Dark Gate. The Great Protector left behind dragon scales to be used as armor and weapons. Nan harbors suspicions that Wenwu has succumbed to the malevolent influence of the Dweller. Shang-Chi and Xiaoling are bestowed with an awe-inspiring gift, the coveted armor woven from the dragon scales. In a solitary moment by the lakeside, Shang-Chi vividly recalls the tragic night his mother perished at the hands of his father's foes, the Iron Gang. The ensuing day marks the onset of Wenwu's relentless attack on Ta Lo. Confronting his father head-on, Shang-Chi finds himself overpowered and cast into the depths of the lake. Wenwu proceeds to destroy the Dark Gate, unwittingly unleashing several terrifying soul eaters. Death Dealer meets his demise as his soul is snatched away, compelling Razor Fist to forge an alliance between the 10 Rings organization and the defenders of Ta Lo. The magnificent Great Protector comes to the aid of Shang-Chi, guiding him towards the gate where a fateful showdown with his father awaits. Wenwu loses control of his rings to Shang-Chi, who, in an act of mercy, spares his father, declaring that their family still needs him. The weakened gate crumbles and the Dweller in Darkness emerges. Wenwu rescues his son and he passes on his powerful rings to him before the Dweller fully consumes his soul. A character named Guangbo becomes the victim of a soul eater. Shang-Chi harnesses the immense power of the rings, tearing the Dweller apart and bringing the battle to a resounding end. Returning to San Francisco, Shang-Chi and Katie recount their extraordinary odyssey to their friends, who dismiss their tale as mere fantasy. A mystical portal materializes, revealing Wong, who beckons Shang-Chi and Katie to journey to Kamertage, where they investigate the rings. Desperate for aid, Carol Danvers and Bruce Banner are summoned, only to find themselves perplexed by the enigma at hand. The characters learn that the rings are sending a message to somewhere. Meanwhile, Xiaoling, empowered by her unwavering resolve, returns to the 10 Rings headquarters, poised to assume the mantle of leadership and reshape the organization's destiny. In total, there were 7 named character deaths: Chancellor Hui, Gao Lei, Ying Li, Death Dealer, Wenwu, Guangbo, and the Dweller in Darkness. With a runtime of 132 minutes, that gives us an average of 1 death every 18.86 minutes. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings mesmerized both critics and audiences, garnering resounding praise and cementing its status as a cinematic tour de force. This awe-inspiring film not only captivated hearts but also made a mighty impact at the box office, amassing a staggering $432.2 million in global ticket sales. Its meteoric success propelled it to the illustrious position of the 9th highest-grossing movie of 2021, a testament to its undeniable popularity and enduring appeal. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings was nominated for Best Visual Effects at the 94th Academy Awards, but it lost to Dune. Exciting news hit in December 2021 as plans for a highly anticipated sequel were unveiled, accompanied by the thrilling revelation that Destin Daniel Cretton, the mastermind behind the original, would once again take the helm as both writer and director. Building on the momentum, the following month brought thrilling anticipation as Simu Liu, the captivating star of the first film, expressed his eagerness eagerness to reprise his role in the sequel. He hinted at the exploration of his character's newfound power wielded by the Ten Rings, while also intriguingly pondering his place within the vast tapestry of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The leaked title for the Shang-Chi sequel is Shang-Chi and the Wreckage of Time, but it remains to be seen whether or not that will be the official title. Based on the leaked title, time travel will presumably be a big factor in the sequel. Marvel fans expressed their interest in seeing Finn Jones in the movie, reprising his role as Danny Rand from the Iron Fist Netflix series. I personally really enjoyed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It's an extraordinary cinematic triumph that delivers on multiple fronts. The movie not only shatters stereotypes and celebrates Asian representation, but it also offers a compelling and heartfelt story filled with breathtaking action and unforgettable characters. The film takes audiences on a thrilling journey of self-discovery, blending martial arts mastery with a rich tapestry of mythology. The action sequences are a true marvel to behold, beautifully choreographed and seamlessly blending practical stunts with stunning visual effects. Beyond the impressive action, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings excels in its exploration of family dynamics and personal identity. The film delves deep into the complexities of the protagonists' relationships, offering emotional depth and resonance. Supported by a talented ensemble cast, the performances bring authenticity and humanity to the characters. I'm eager to delve into the enchanting realm of fantasy once again, but I need your help in choosing the next captivating movie or show to analyze. Share your enticing suggestions in the comments below, and I'll be grateful for your participation. Thank you for joining me in this adventure, and I shall await you in our next mesmerizing video.